Please, don't even get me started. I'm having a bit of a sinus infection right now.
Oh, hey, we have one viewer already. Seems like somebody was waiting for us. Hey, Wishy! Let's see. Oh yeah, I need to do the stuffy wuffy. If you want to if you have a private server or anywhere, here's a easy way to copy and link and paste.
And spreading this around. I spread it all over the map like the plague.
The plague. Run, my little ponies, run! So.
Get back and
Run.
my slot first.
Oh, come on. I just got up. I have to run.
Yep. We take exercise very seriously.
Oh, I won't survive.
Dun, dun, dun. Did you fail your exercise roll?
Well, technically, I exercise on a daily basis.
So,
I work for a delivery company unloading trucks. You see.
Then you should have what's it called again? Advantage on athletic checks.
I don't have to run though.
No, but you're still keeping your body in movement every single day.
Every single weekday.
Okay, so at least 5 days a week.
Yeah.
There you go. Like compared to a still sitting job, I would say that you get more exercise than those who have, office jobs. You know.
Well, an office job, yeah, sit on the photocopier all the time. That's a jump.
I
put that as PG as I could.
Spam the link everywhere.
Spamity spam!
Spam! Okay, we started to get some people, so hello again everyone! Hey, Crimson, Doggy, and Final Sight, and Wishy, and all the others for Corn. Thank you so much everybody for dropping by. I have been super lucky today. Thank you so much for the follow. And we have a demon spawn, which is also called Dusk Flare. She's with us. Okay. So as you can see, today I have been lucky enough to have with me Brass Polish. Say hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I have with me the Wilstonator or / Thespio.
Either or is fine by me, and no, it isn't. Hey, no, shut up! I don't have multiple personality disorder!
Moving on.
Neither do I, turns out. No, yeah! Shut up!
Jasper or Jasper Pie. I think that's two people too now.
Where?
Everywhere.
Behind you.
Yeah. And another double person, which is Ramosky or Prof. Say hello.
Hey.
He is, for you people who might wondering, he is the purple magical wolf that's holding a very interesting book. You are free to ask him what that book might be. Oh, we have an Aeon in chat as well. Hello, and Diamond Chi. There's a lot of people. Yay! We has a lightning blaze. We has the rainbow in the chat.
Hey.
Oh, I'm really quiet. Why am I quiet? Okay. Well, we can start off with Chris, yell louder. Okay, while I'm trying to fix my mic, because for some reason it's really quiet. Brass, why don't you be so kind to critter? I'm a critter now. Okay, sorry. I need to focus. Brass, why don't you be so kind to tell us about your OC, how it ended up being the OC that you have today and stuff.
Well, I created this design in 2015, and Zephyr Breeze came about in 2016, so I didn't base the design on that at all. I was going through exams in April 2015, and I pretty much had to go straight from that to my driving test. So I was pretty stressed out. And I, in my spare time, I would sit around watching YouTube videos, and I stumbled upon a certain program called After the Fact. I was quite entertained, so I carried on. And eventually I got to the Keep Calm and Flutter On one, and in the beginning of them, there were a lot of pony sonas in there, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of these guys. And I thought it might be fun to design a pony sona of my own, because I'd been doing MLP fan fiction for about 2 years previously, but never really made up a character. So after I passed my driving test, I pretty much drove straight home, opened up Photoshop, and started designing a character. I gave him long hair and beard because that's what I had at the time. And at first I gave him the standard stallion design from the show. And I was okay with the overall design so far, but I looked at it and thought, I don't know, it's not quite a cartoonish extension of me, is it? And I thought, so I'm the tallest person I know personally.
Ooh, what's your height?
I am at least 1 fathom.
I am 5.65 snickerdoodles, yeah?
I'm 6'2".
Okay.
6'2".
Okay,
Okay, my height then.
Google, what is Stuffies? 6.2.
A fathom is 6 foot.
Okay, so it's
Maybe
feet.
short.
I love saying that one.
Okay, it's feet.
People ask me.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
yeah, you're totally not obsessed with all things British humor, are you?
Nah. So, sadly, I go to a convention. I think, where do we get all these giants?
okay.
Look at Dr. Wolf. Look at Anthony C. Look at Ty and Doggo.
Yeah, okay. Ska vi se. I just wanna make sure I have the correct one. 6.2
Yeah.
feet. Why?
So I used Flim as a base. Flim, the Flim Flam brothers.
Ah, nice. Why? So because of your height, that's the one you chose.
Yeah.
Okay. Why am I not?
What were you saying?
No, it's just arguing silently in my head with my computer because it's not finding the website that I wanted to find.
187,
Okay.
188.
Okay, so he is about 20 centimeter lower than my brother. Awesome. Still very tall. Nice.
Mm-hmm. So I picked a Pegasus because at the time Pinkie Pie was my favorite character, but I did find myself rooting more and more for Scootaloo.
Aww.
At this point, she's my favorite because to this day, she's managed to overcome her greatest handicap, the fandom.
I was gonna say the fandom or her parents, but
I don't know. I haven't seen that episode.
You have some work to do. I think it's a big hit or miss depending on, yeah.
Yeah, depending on your stance with Scootaloo as a character, it could be a bit of a two-way street for you. Just letting you know.
Well, if someday I find myself looking at season 8 and 9. Where was I? Yeah, I chose Pegasus. Sort of a subtle denotation that if it's true that she never grows into her wings, she could always use them for other things. And so sometimes I draw or animate myself holding things or touching things or swiping at things with my wings rather than my hooves.
Yeah, it's practical.
I reiterate, why do Pegasi get all the cool extra appendages?
That's the unicorn.
It's something I didn't see Pegasi doing in the show very often. They did it a little more as it went on when the animation got a little broader. Like you can stick your feathers in your ears. You can count.
You can point
Pretty
that
sure
stuff.
It's not hygienic.
You can give people the bird.
Use them to shake hooves. Use them to like give high fives and the like. So
You can scratch your back.
And apparently use them to do push-ups, which, I'm not gonna lie, looks agonizingly painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my character doesn't fly very often. He can do it, but he doesn't do it very often.
only when like the situation calls for it.
Pretty much. Or if he's in a really good mood.
Or for comedy convenience.
So I got small amounts of criticism over the color.
What?
And
Why?
When I first created the design, I opted for a darker green, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I went for a lighter shade, and I thought, it's not bad. I'll try putting some eyes in, because I had a library of MLP-style eyes at the time. And I chose brown first, because that was my actual eye color, and I put them in, I'm like, okay, this works. And I did nothing else with it.
That's fair. And I gotta ask, why did you get bad stuff for the green? Like, it's a nice balanced color. Doesn't hurt your eyes.
The green is from Granny Smith.
Oh. It's like people hating me because I chose a yellow Pegasi. So.
The mane and tail colors came from Spitfire.
Ah, that's where it came from. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Huh. So yeah.
And as for my cutie mark.
Oh yeah, I can't even see the cutie mark on that vector. What is your cutie mark?
If I had an idea at the time, I don't remember it.
Fair.
What I've been telling people is it represents a token of admiration.
No.
Oh.
But I came up with that retroactively.
At first, I kind of thought... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go on. What were you thinking?
At first, I kind of thought it was a basketball because you're tall.
I honestly thought it was.
My last interaction with a basketball was getting whacked in the head with one.
Nah.
I honestly thought it was more along the like, considering your name is Brass Polish, it is a piece of polished brass, or more over like a gold piece or something like that.
It is kind of a brass token.
Okay.
So I'm close.
I have no idea what a brass is, so can I be the stupid one and ask what is a brass?
It's a kind of metal.
Okay.
It's like the stuff that's that you make musical instruments out of, like trombones or trumpets or tubas and the like. But yeah, it can also be used for other things like pipes and the like.
It's basically,
in my case,
yeah.
Being a railway enthusiast,
Toot toot.
I'm a Great Western Railway fan, and on the Great Western Railway, one thing their steam locomotives were famous for was brass and copper fittings on, say, the funnel or the safety valve bonnets. So that's where that name came from. But at the time I designed my cutie mark, I didn't really write anything down, and I don't really remember what made me design it that way. And I've been telling people it represents a token of admiration, but I'm not certain. Canonically, my character would like to visit the Cutie Mark Crusaders one day.
No.
See if they can figure it out. But chances are I'll probably get a little distracted because Scootaloo's one of them, and I just want to hang out with her.
That's fair. Yeah, that would have been fun if you could actually just visit for a time the pony universe as your OC, of course, not as a human, because then everybody would maybe panic.
I think that's kind of like a fantasy for. It's not like exclusive to certain people. It's kind of like a fandom-wide sort of thing. Why do you think Why do you think self-insert fan fictions are a thing?
Yeah, that makes more sense now.
Which is kind of how Jasper was born, if y'all remember.
Yeah, you did go through it in the first one you joined. If I remember correctly.
Like
Sorry.
I tried to make him Pinky's cousin, but now it's more like a running joke gag about their stupidly long family tree type thing.
You know, we might be related. Yeah, that thing. Still funny though.
The implications are aplenty.
Yes. So yeah, did you make Brass? Did you make any, like, if he were to be in that universe, have you made any sort of backstory for him?
I haven't written anything down. I've got an idea in my head, and I've mulled it over several times, so I remember what it is.
Yeah, that works as well.
The short version is I grew up in a crossing keeper's hut.
Kappa.
At railway crossings, some of the more out-of-the-way ones on rural branch lines would have a hut at the corner, and someone lives there who shuts and opens the gates depending on what's coming.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And it was not mared by a pony, by an August rooster named Figment Fathom. An August rooster. There's several versions of them depending on what lore you go by, but this one's sort of like a reverse Perryton.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes it takes a little bit time. English is my second language, so I sometimes have to think about some of the words because, like, what's that meaning again? Okay. So, sorry if I'm reacting a bit late.
Yeah, a Perryton is a half deer, half bird hybrid.
That sounds cool.
An August rooster is like flip those ends around.
I'm just like, are you sure we're not living in the D&D universe already?
I've tried filling out a D&D character sheet once. I wrote a name down. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, fair. It's a trial to make a D&D character at least the first 5 times. Then it might go smoother. Okay. Shall I say Prof or should I say Ramosky? What do you prefer?
Prof.
Prof. Okay, Prof. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your OC?
Yeah. This the wolf, basically Ramo, is from an RP that Visual made once. And there's actually he actually has a few siblings. And one specific sister.
Nah, no idea what you're talking about.
Yep. So, yeah, Chris asked me a week ago if I want to join here. I have an idea for a pony you see in mind, but it was not nearly enough time to make a picture of them. So yeah, since I had this one, I used it. Yeah.
So, so you weren't the one creating anything unique about him. All of it was already okay.
Yes.
What did you make?
The only addition I made to it is the book he's reading. I'm a really big Fallout Equestria fan, and should I ever have the time and find the courage to it, I would like to write my own part to the story.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a little bit nerdy, a scientist. That's the lab coat part. But yeah, most of it was already there in the RP when I took over the character, and it was, I must say, the most part where simply fitting. So that's the reason why I'm partly using it for myself too.
Okie dokie. But writing is a lot of work. Is this something you have studied for or just started?
No, not at all. I'm coming from the computer science field, and I must say I'm looking forward to how my first few pages would be, because like Chris, English is not my native language, and I haven't even written any story in my native language. So I'm looking forward to this becoming a big disaster. But then again, that's something you can learn from.
Yeah, good attitude. That's nice. Okay, so hopefully we will get to see Prof pony in the future.
Like I said, if I had a little bit more time, I think I would have tried to get in a C, but I think 1 week is nearly not enough time.
Yeah, that's true.
To get a picture in this quality.
So maybe for the next Chill and Chat.
Yes.
Yay! Okie dokie. Thespio, would you be a deer?
I don't know. Could I be a deer? That's more Italian doggish.
I was gonna say he can't be a deer. He's a pony. Cha-cha-cha.
Well, put some antlers on it. He can be a uni-deer.
Yeah, I mean, I could be, but that would require me getting a hacksaw, and yeah, I won't go further than that.
Actually, by that, if you have 3 horns, wouldn't that make you a tricorn?
Touche.
Multi-class. Here you go.
Yeah, for my OC, I didn't really do too. Back then, I wasn't really going for anything too special. It's basically just a bona fide me. Like I naturally have brown hair and brown eyes. But I actually, I did find, first draft of what I was originally going to be, if I could put that in here as, an image. My original design was actually going to be white instead of blue. And I think, I was originally also going to be an earth pony. And instead of my red vest, it would just be sort of almost like a red one piece, almost like
jumpsuit
overalls in a way. Yeah, yeah, like jumpsuit in a way. And looking back at it, it's no, just it doesn't really seem right. And plus two, so yeah, I decided to also make him a little taller, because in that image it looks like he's about a little taller than the CMC or something like that. So he's more of a cult. But yeah, I made
Did we both just...
Both are babies.
Did we both just have the idea for the wristwatch?
I guess, because at the time, I was one of those people that always insisted on wearing a watch instead of trying to take my phone out of my pocket every 5 seconds to look at the time. And but yeah, I decided, you know what, I'll make him a little taller. That particular shade of white does look a little loud, so I made him a little more of a, I want to say almost a bit of a periwinkle blue, and decided, you know what, I want to kind of be able to do more things that that earth ponies feel restricted from doing. So I decided to make myself a unicorn, and the glasses are still a thing, because I do wear glasses in real life, being nearsighted, and yeah, the rest is kind of history from there. And as far as backstory, I never really thought of giving him one at the time, but I do know that the name Thespio, because back at the time I didn't really have a name for my character. I was just going as myself, as just a Stona, just for my online work, which was Dewilstonator, which was actually given to me as a nickname by Jasper before we joined this community. He just he had this knack of what is that, Dewilstonator? And I decided, you know what, I kind of like that. It kind of sticks. And
behold, the Dewilstonator.
Good
was
laugh.
at that period in life where Airstonator just sounded like the coolest thing ever.
In a way, yeah, kind of like if Bliss was watching, it's we were all sort of wanting to be like the Terminator, or just any sort of Aters.
Come with me if you want to make art.
Art.
And then the name Thespio, if I'm correct, I think it was actually, like, I remember in an old friend group I was with that I think Jasper was also a part of. I was asking, okay, I don't know if the Wilsonator was really sort of a name that I could fit if my OC was a legit character in Equestria, because at the time I was still trying to develop at least a starting, like a starter kind of character sheet, if you will. I don't know, just words speak. I can.
That's okay. Take your time.
Yeah, but Thespio, if I'm correct, was actually given to me as a name suggestion by our friend Eliora back in, like, I think 2012, 2013, give or take. I don't know what year exactly, because my passion back then, and it still is at the time, is acting, like playing pretend, trying to be somebody I'm not, trying to tell stories, being in a secondary reality that I in real life could never be a part of or don't want to be a part of, but because I like, I remember something one of my past voiceover coaches said. Being able to play pretend is being able to enter a secondary reality
Ooh.
that is your own, that fits with the story you're trying to tell. And I decided, you know what, I'll just keep it simple. I'll have my cutie mark be theater masks. And yeah, I believe Ellie came up with the name of Thespio, and I decided, you know what, it's short, it's pretty catchy. It gives sort of, like, the prefix kind of says what he's about, what his passion is, and I felt like, yeah, all right, cool, Thespio it is. And over time, I have thought about possibly adding more to his character, like where he came from, what he does. Over time, I just have yet to publish it. All I do know is that he lives with his wife, Midnight Sonata, in Ponyville, and occasionally drops by Jasper's Pizzeria, because he actually used to be an ex-employee there, and the two of them were co-workers, and that's how they met.
Oh.
Working on developing a story for that. Just, I have project attention deficits. Something. Yes.
Yeah. And so yeah, nothing really too special. Just wanted to, come up with a bit of a color scheme that's pretty easy on the eyes, something that I feel represents me, and yeah, the rest is history.
Okay. Cool. So that's why the cutie mark is black and white, because keeping it simple for artists and the vector makers.
In a sense, yeah. Just, something like while I was looking through images of theater masks, I did find a few that are a little more extravagant with colors, and I felt like, what, that also kind of screams a little bit like it's too loud, and I just wanted to, I was going for more simplicity and the like, so yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Jasper, do you want to say anything? Or should we jump over to the questions? Just so if you want to say something, then you can.
Like anything specific?
No, I don't remember if we talked about it, but why is your OC using a Fedora hat?
Because fezzes are awesome.
Yep.
Or maybe it's because I was playing Russian roulette with the Pony OC creator, and at first it turned out but with a little tinkering from Golden Fox, it ended up
Nice. Okay. Awesome. Okay, first question we have is from him. Yeah?
Also, yay, my lady is in the chat.
Ah, yes, hello.
Hey, Harmony.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay. Question is for Thespio. What gave you the idea to include a spider sense in Tingling Gag in the Lightning Bliss magic lesson?
That was actually more of an idea that Jasper made up because he was the head writer of the script. All I did was just add a few things here and there and polish grammar and any sort of spelling mistakes and the like. But I think, and Jasper, at any point, correct me if I'm wrong, it's because the two of us have developed such a strong connection with Lightning Bliss to the fact where she calls the two of us her uncles, even though we're not biologically related. Because we have that strong bond, it's sort of developed into a bit of a sense where, you know, we sense trouble with her and we're like, oh boy, is she having another episode again? Does she need help? And what do we do? And, you know, just that sort of thing. Am I in the ballpark?
You are in the ballpark and you hit a home run.
Whee!
Also, I just wanted to make the Star Wars joke.
And I'm getting a Frank.
Only joke that comes to my mind is I have the high ground. But I don't know if that one fits.
That would be more Bronny's alley.
Okay. Ska vi se. Question for everyone. Do you have a favorite movie from the 1980? I don't know any movies from 1980 on the top of my head, but yep. Anyone else?
1980s?
Yep.
I have to think about that.
I might have to look up the release date. But I'd say my top two movies from the 1980s are either Clue, the movie, or Tim Burton's Batman.
Ooh.
I have a favorite movie from the 50s. I have a favorite movie from the 60s. I have a favorite movie from the 90s. I have a favorite movie from the 70s, but 80s, no. Never realized.
I have to say that at least like the first one that comes to mind, at least from that period, is Beetlejuice.
The musical?
Well, Beetlejuice is the musical is based off of the Tim Burton movie of the same name that was released. I think it was the late '80s. I know it was before Batman.
Oh.
So, but yeah, that's definitely one of the first ones that comes to mind. But yeah, any others? I would have to. I really have to think back and look at my collection, and I don't want to waste any more time here doing that.
Yeah, it's a very specific question, but still fun that you guys knew at least some movies. Prof, did you have any?
A movie doesn't come to my mind. I would have a TV show that would be Knight Rider.
Oh, okay.
But movie, no.
Okay. Jasper, have you seen any episodes from the British sitcom Button?
Who's he? What now?
British sitcom Bottom.
I think he's talking about. I think if I'm correct, I think there was a sitcom that was called Bottom. I think I remember seeing like a few. I want to say like people used audio for it in certain other videos of theirs back in the way early days. I mean, I've heard of it, but this question is for Jasper, not me. So, yeah.
I have not seen it. I've seen Monty Python, I've seen The Young Ones, I've seen Little Britain, but I have not seen Bottom. I know I'm on my bottom, but that is not the type of bottom.
Yes, Lightning Bliss, you are an official CMC helper because she made my cutie mark. So she is my CMC, or she is a CMC in real life. Yay! Ska vi se. Question for Brass Polish. How did you start on vectoring art and the Workaholic comics?
Vectoring, I got my start in 2013 when I started writing MLP fanfiction. At first, I was just tinkering with pre-existing vectors. Then around... it wasn't long before I started creating my own characters in Photoshop. So yeah, that didn't take long. Workaholics Anonymous came way later. When did I start? 2019? I was partially inspired by a segment of the Red Green Show called Men's Anonymous.
At some point in between that, we grabbed him by his face and asked, "Hey, wanna do vectors for the TF2 blowing up show?"
I was suggested by a number of parties and asked if I wanted to join, and I'm like, okay.
Which is almost kind of the opposite of what I said.
Oh? Did I mishear you?
Now I was making a joke, because
Oh.
yours was a lot calmer, mine was forcibly grabbing by the face.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was giving a trial run. I think it started with a bit of fan art.
Oh.
I drew way back when the team didn't have a blue pyro. I dreamt up the idea that they just kind of go behind Doc's and Firebrand's backs and hire one for themselves, and it's Lady Wolf.
Oh yeah, and I think it actually actually inspired an episode where Doc kind of had a dream sequence, and
That came out a week later.
Nightmare.
That came out a week after I put that fan art up. I'm like, whoa, they must have liked it.
And thus the seeds were born.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I guess that's it.
Yep. Question for everyone. So, I heard you like trains. Why? From Aeon of Streams.
Of course it would be Aeon. It would have.
They saved me a car ride.
Yeah, there.
Oh, that's a colossal benefit.
I hate driving.
Well, yeah. I know. Brass, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you work for Aurelia, or is that like something, or is that just a hobby of yours? I think I heard you said something that you work along those lines, but I could be mistaken.
I have never worked in the railway industry.
Okay.
The steam locomotive my character owns is entirely made up.
Okay. All right. So I was getting those confused.
Why do I like trains? A lot of people have said that the steam locomotive is the closest we've come to creating a mechanical sentient being. A steam locomotive eats and drinks, it breathes, it's got a pulse. In some ways, it performs alchemy. It combines all the elements: earth, fire, wind, water.
And then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Sorry, I had to.
And if you're a Captain Planet fan, you could argue Heart is in there. Yeah, they're not so sterile as other conveyances.
Whoa, that's deep, man.
The mind boggles.
And like a lot of railway enthusiasts these days, I grew up with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, Thomas!
Yep. That's well, story time.
Yay! Get your popcorn.
Oh boy, it's a classic.
Get a popcorn.
I'll try to keep this brief.
We have 2 hours. Have fun. We're just on 38 minutes. Have fun. Enjoy. Sit down. Get your popcorn. Get your sodas. Get your plushies.
In fact,
All
that's
right.
actually kind of how me and him met.
Yes, even more reason to, take your time. Get cozy, everybody.
All right. You asked for it.
Yee.
So, yep, it's true. I want to say it was like, gosh, I think it was like over nearly 15 years ago. Wow. Like, yeah, nearly 15 years ago, like 2007, I believe. Well, I think Jasper, your channel got started. What was it? 2006? Like, did yours come before?
It
or
started
after
around
mine?
I think it started around 2006. It didn't officially kick off until 2007.
Okay. All right. So, yes, for those who don't know, both me and Jasper, like Brass, also grew up watching a lot of Thomas the Tank Engine, and it did become a staple of entertainment for us. And both of us technically did start out on YouTube making our own knockoff series, either with his toys from the franchise and my electric models, because I actually did have a layout that I had in a shed in my backyard back at the old house I lived in. And we were just two dorks in high school who just wanted to, you know, make something cool, something reminiscent of the good old times during childhood. And this little bugger apparently got inspired by a video that I made and somehow made it better. And I'm like, who is this guy who ripped off my stuff and yet somehow made me laugh my butt off, and why do I want to talk to him more?
Better is objective.
But well, I mean, like, with that mindset and how young I was at the time, I have an excuse. But yeah, we talked a little bit back and forth, just kind of spewing ideas back and forth, and we kind of had both of our channels growing a pretty steady, at least I want to say up until like 2010 when ponies started to become a thing, and we just kind of interest was just sort of lost from there. And plus too, I was going through my own things. Like I had my first job, I was going to college, and you know, other personal things at home, mostly between my my family. But I won't go into any details than that, as that's a different, entirely different story.
Yep.
But yeah, our shared love of this franchise we grew up with kind of sprouted a friendship, and both of us aren't as active in the online community that Thomas has spawned nowadays. I want to say we're just kind of like at least for me, I'm more of a lurker. Like, I don't actively participate in it as much as I do with Pony, but I still, you know, if I see a video, or like I'm subscribed to a few channels, some that I provided voice work for, and yeah, that's just kind of it from there. I'm not, and yeah, I think it's fair to say that back in the day, me and Jasper were kind of some of the bigger names in that community. In fact, I actually remember I saw
Shockingly.
Shockingly. Like, it was, I think to quote you, we were like surprise smashes to their eyes, and looking back at it, I'm like, I just can't help but question why, but that's another thing. But like there's even like a group of people who are making like a community webpage for it, and they actually for the Throwback Thursday this few days ago, they tagged me and my channel, my older channel, and I'm just like, oh God, why? Just let it die already.
Unfortunately, it'll never leave.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, we don't follow it as closely as we used to, but you know, we still enjoy the old days, and it's a little harder to look back at our old works, but we know that there are people now that are doing a lot more bigger and more professionally made stuff than what we could ever do. So
I myself am kind of a lurker myself, though I mostly just do my own thing. Like, I've graduated from making Thomas videos to making Thomas comics, because I don't know, I thought it was a new thing I wanted to try.
Yeah, just I think it was more along the lines of something just you still wanted to contribute, but something that I don't want to say like required less effort, but you could easily like a little easier for you to make, more consistent.
Very. Because when you think about having to get the model set up, doing the shooting every single week, it's brain aching.
Yeah, there are a lot more people in the community that have a lot more endurance and tenacity for that sort of stuff, and our energy for that just kind of depleted over time. So yeah.
I am not in shape.
You are in shape. You're just your own shape.
Okay, I was correct that I am a shape, just not one physically capable of doing stop motion choo-choo trains.
The choo-choo trains. Sorry.
Yeah.
Choo-choo trains.
No worries. But yeah, that's sort of our shtick. So it's a side thing. It's not our main go-to thing anymore. But I mean, we still enjoy it, just in smaller doses. Because we also have other interests, we have other priorities, and just life.
And in most cases, a lot of other projects to take care of.
Yeah, some that were legitimately paid for as well, so those kind of take a priority too. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
There is quite few sound editors in the fandom, which is also one of the reasons why I was very happy this was able to do, because you guys do a lot of heavy work. And that's something you all should get more recognition for. Because if you guys, Prof, Jasper, Thespio, Brass, if you guys didn't do the job you did, the videos might not sound as good as they do. Because you do a pretty important job, and that is taking away the bad sounds and adding the good sounds, as Prof told me before. Isn't it?
I'd say for us, not not crapping all over other audio editors who do work, because I know for a fact every I thought that I lost it. Dang it.
It's okay. Everybody has different levels of how well they can do stuff, of course, but I'm still saying that sound editors are still very, very valuable, especially since there's so few of you.
Yes. Thank you. That helped.
Happy to help.
But yeah, for us, I'm assuming for when it comes to us, you're talking mostly about TF2 Analysis Anarchy.
I'm most talking about generally doing sound editing, but yeah, most of the work, as far as I know, you three at least have worked with is the TF2 stuff. Prof, I know, works on almost all of Visual Pony's stuff, or yeah, I know he has one more sound editor, but.
F-Light, and T is doing a lot more than I do.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, Thespio. Continue.
It's all good. At least for us, I'm trying to remember how we were brought on. I think I remember Bliss and Doc sort of telling the story during one of our commentaries. I think Bliss was asking Doc if he was content to continue to do sound editing, but with everything else that was piling up, with more episodes being created to try to keep up a consistent release schedule, it was proving to be a bit difficult. And I think I'm trying to remember if he came to either me first, or if he came to Jasper first, because I know Brass. I know Brass was brought on a little later, I want to say only 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah. Around that time.
I remember Takara came to me first about the audio editor position.
Oh, it was Takara that came to you first.
Oh, really?
At first, I wasn't sure because I really wanted to be a voice actor or a writer, but I thought I'd take it on, and thus this little sideshow began.
Yay!
Yeah, and then I think it also sort of developed because it was also back in the early days before Ponies. You and I used to do audio as a double team effort in in a sense. Like, we didn't develop the system we have now, but I remember with some of your older videos, you would give like the product to me, and then I would polish it here and there, like at least space things out a little more, make sure things are a little leveled out better, to where it's not blaring in your ears at least as much. You know, it was still a learning experience as time went on. And
I'm an unapologetic sound effects and music pack rat.
yeah, we're in that sort of way. Both of us are kind of hoarders. But yeah, for us, like like for me, I try to focus more on timing and tone of the scene that's happening, whether it be in TF2 or Bliss's magic lessons and the like, and like in a way trying to make it as if, oh, I could see this as like a legit TV production in terms of how it sounds, how everything plays out and the like, so nothing feels unintentionally rushed in a way. And I know Joey goes all out with trying to make it as bombastic as possible. I help bring it in at least a little bit when it calls for it. And
Sometimes I think you get more bombastic than I do.
yeah, it kind of be flip-flopped in a way. Like sometimes I'll go all out, he'll do more all out. It just depends on the circumstances.
We're passionate. We're insane, but we're passionate.
Yeah.
Or is it passionately insane?
Either or. And plus two, we've also kind of gotten, like, one rule that I at least try to follow is to try to switch it up every so often, so nothing gets too repetitive in terms of like music choices and certain sounds, unless it's for like a specific gimmick. Like every new episode, I try to find at least a couple extra music pieces. Like, okay, which ones haven't I used yet, or which ones have I not used as much that could make a bit of a resurgence in a way. And I'm always on the lookout for like one thing I do at the very least. I always look on Equestria Daily to see if there's any new orchestral or ambience music pieces that get featured. And excuse me.
It's okay.
And I try to pick and choose, like, ooh, I could see this fitting for a scene like this, or I could see this piece fitting for a scene like this, and that sort of shtick. And I want to say, is that kind of what also you do, Brass, when we give audio projects to you?
Yeah, I try to stick to 3 composers an episode, unless it's a really long one. Sometimes I could go up to 5.
Yeah,
and I try to make it a different. I try to make it a different trio every time.
Right. Yeah, and plus two, we also try to find music from artists who, as long as we give credit, they're free to use, and stuff like that. Which is why, at the beginning of every episode, you'll see different people under additional music.
It's a lot easier than the olden days when we kind of relied on Ren and Stimpy music, because now, copyright.
Right, yeah. But yeah, so like... we try
that's why a lot of us use fan-created projects. They don't set off the copyright bot.
Yeah, we usually try to find fan-made music that people allow for free use. To... That just makes things a lot easier on our end, and again that goes for both TF2 and other projects like Bliss's Magic Lessons or our own projects and such. And another tip that I usually use, since I'm the head audio editor and like after either Brass or Jasper gives me their bits, and you know, I add my additions or subtractions here and there. And when I do the mixing and mastering, before I send it to whoever's doing the visual edits, I listen to the product a few times through the speakers in my car, because I found out that sometimes how you can hear things like through your headphones versus your laptop speakers or versus your TV screen, and they do sound a little different. There are some things that, like, at least through my headphones, it doesn't sound like it's blaring, but on but through a different set of speakers, like through your car, through the TV, it'll sound like a shriek or something like that, just to give an example. And then I rely a lot on trying to, like, going back and forth for certain sections to try to remember which ones I I need to tinker with a little more. And yeah, so far it's only just been like no more than like 2 extra passes before I send it off to the visual editor. And then I always make an attempt to anything that I added or any sort of visual notes for how a scene's supposed to be choreographed, I add those to the script as well, so that way the visual editor isn't kind of going in blind. And because there are some instances where I have a very specific sort of vision in mind for any of us, what is specifically going on in that scene, particularly during certain segments that don't have dialogue and that it's just action. Like, what specific weapons are being reloaded, who is doing what, and yet not speaking in a way. And, like, in a way, I sort of try to treat it as, before I send it off to the visual editors, I treat it as an audio drama. Something that you can just listen to and you can paint a picture in your head, which is like what people like say Scribbler or the Lost Narrator do, and you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a process, but that's enough about me rambling. Any Brass, Jasper, and anything else to add on, like, at your end on your creative process?
Well, I try not to treat it as a radio play, because there's a difference. In a radio play where there's no visuals, it relies entirely on your imagination. Silence, even a second of silence, could be a killer. There must always be some sound going on. Whereas when the audio being assembled is eventually going to have visuals attached to it, silence isn't so much of a killer.
All right, that makes sense.
What about you, Prof? What do you think?
Ah,
sorry, Jasper. You first.
A few of the times I also try to work with the timing of certain song pieces.
Oh yeah, dialogue timing with the music is crucial.
Like there's this one piece I like to work with a lot. It's called Funeral of the Marionette, I believe it's called.
Is it the one that goes like da, 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 I think it's like almost like the Alfred Hitchcock theme in a way, or am I thinking of something else?
That's the one.
Ah,
that is the one. So, like, I kind of like to use a bit of it before a piece that happens before, or the actual da 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 happens as kind of like a scene opener, and I gotta make sure to time that just perfectly for like when the actual da 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 is when the actual action starts, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Like, there are certain segments or cadences and certain music pieces that have to be timed with what's going on in the specific scene. You know, make it, you know, like hit hard or just slowly lean into it. It just, when you develop a good ear for stuff like this, it helps reap what you sow, and the like.
and I'm not ever usually too picky with what kind of music I use. I just kind of browse through like 3 or 5 folders to see, would this sound good or would this? Sometimes I have like 5 folders open at once.
Yeah, some of the times it's a little bit of trial and error just to see what works, what doesn't, and it can be a little taxing, it can be a little tedious, but it's. I mean, I personally.
It can be colossally tedious.
I think
Yeah.
I think the results speak for themselves, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
there is a satisfying bit at the end where the billion-piece jigsaw starts to fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
So, Prof, do you have anything to add to, like, how do you use your creative work process when it comes to editing?
I'm only for audio dramas, so yeah, there is no visual. Even if it's visual opponents the channel, but yeah, it's not a thing. I must say with the silence earlier, I see it a little bit different. I think a second or two of silence on some moments can make it a little bit, can be useful. So I don't always see it as a mood killer. Of course, general, if there is no reason for it, of course, because most people, as soon as you don't have an audio back, will look, okay, is the stream hanging or something like this. And yeah, with the fitting of audio, that is most likely the most difficult part. So if I have an audio part that is, let's say, 1.5 minutes long, I often use different tools like slicing it, remixing parts of it, or stretching certain parts that I have. The change in audio and at the same thing where the story has to change. I think that's the most difficult part of it, to fit the audio in this way, and that the length of all fits and so on. So a single piece of audio can often be 5 or 6 different parts that all have their own effects on it. That in the end, if you listen to it, you can't quite see that it is a remixed audio part. It still listens like the original if you don't quite know it, but it has all its changes on the right place.
Yeah, I can actually kind of see where Prof is coming from, because there have also been some instances, and like, yeah, sometimes you do have to remix it a little bit, in terms of, like, at least for me, like specific music pieces, or maybe like in terms of dialogue, if you need to maybe speed it up or help elongate a little bit, like stretching the piece to affect the speed of it. Like, there's one piece of music that its original tempo was too slow, but yet the tone of it fit perfectly. So I kind of had to fiddle with uh or like stretching it smaller. If I know that that in and of itself makes no sense, but just shrinking the speed of it down to fit the tone better of the scene. Or sometimes if you add like a certain vocal effect to a piece of dialogue, if they're like coming out of speakers or coming out of a telephone and the like. So just again, just the main thing to focus on when doing something like this, like like at least for me, just what fits the tone and the objective of the story we're trying to tell.
There have also been cases where you have a music piece that fits the scene, but it's too short, so you kind of have to chop it up and loop it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, either loop it or like find, or if it's like, say, a longer piece, have to find only one specific segment of it that fits perfectly. It's it can be a bit of a gamble in some cases.
You have
But
simply
again,
try. What I like, for example, when I have a scene where a lot of loud audio effects are coming, a lot of sound effects, then I try to hide the cuts of the remix behind something like this, because then even if you try to listen to, you're not able to quite notice the cut, because at the moment there's an explosion or a gunshot or something like this going on.
yeah, this little tips and tricks that you can pick up. And again, a lot of it is trial and error, or just searching for the right tutorials online if you're a beginner at this. So yeah, for some people, I know doing this sort of shtick is tedious. Like, I know that's why Blissey hired me to do all the audio work for every future magic lesson that goes on and the like. And yeah, I like another thing is to like try to relatively stay close to the vision that the original creator wants. It's like again communication of and trying to collaborate as best as possible.
If you can ask the creator, that is of course something useful. But in our case, where we do audiobooks, that's often a little bit difficult because, well, even get contact to him, or well, yeah, I wrote this story 5 years ago. I'm not part of fandom anymore, so that is sometimes a little bit difficult. So also important part is, from my point of view, to make this vision, because if you have visuals, you can visualize it. But otherwise, like for example, if the story only says it is raining, okay, how heavy is it raining and on what ground is it raining? That can make huge differences, and you can paint entire pictures simply with the sound of the rain.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Just trying to figure out the intensity of what's going on in the story can also make a huge difference. So yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Prof.
Another part that is, from my point of view, really important, especially if you work with different people on the same piece, consistency. That if you have a sound effect for a train, for example, that everyone used the same. It was a few errors that I made at the beginning. That's yeah, quite audible in the pieces.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. We have a question for Jasper.
Egads.
From one max voice to another, how much gun is too much? HMG Steven VA.
From one Max fan to another?
It says one Max voice to another, so I don't know if he also voices Max. I think that's the bunny, or I'm not sure about the fandom you're really into. It's the bunny and the dog in the detective outfit.
Well, as an uncertified certified officer of the law, I can guarantee that if you wake up in the morning and find yourself encased in a comforting blanket of empty shells, then you're just about halfway there.
There you go. Okay.
One time Sam dared me to make snow angels out of the bullet shells.
I dared you to do no such thing. I said that while I was sleepwalking.
And yet it was a profound challenge that I could not turn away from.
You crack me up, little pal.
Okay. Gucci is asking, Jasper and Thespio, do you guys have any favorite cryptides?
Cryptites?
Yeah. I have no idea what it is. So I'm just gonna copy how it is. No? Okay, I can't copy it.
How's it spelled?
Pronunciation. Give it 2 seconds. CREPTIDS. I'm 28 and I still can't pronounce letters in English. Yeah, I'm gonna go hide under the chair now.
Oh wait,
I don't...
cryptids, spooky creatures, I think.
Oh, I don't think we're aware of those, so or at least I'm not aware of those. So
oh wait, I think they were talking like paranormal cryptozoology things like Bigfoot or nice Karens.
Oh, yeah, me personally, I'm not much into that stuff. That's more of my wife. So I can't answer that. Sorry.
It's okay. They're just asking, and you're not obligated if you do not know or do not feel comfortable. So no worries there.
I dabble in a bit of it from time to time. I'd say my favorites are the Jersey Devil or Mothman.
When it comes to superheroes, Frostbite is asking, Jasper, do you want to be the first ever Fez-themed superhero?
First ever what?
I think she said first Fez-themed superhero.
Yeah, sorry, pronunciation.
Maybe. It depends. What would my gimmick be? Would the Fez be able to turn into an interdimensional portal? Would I be able to fly around the cosmos on my flying magical Fez bike? These are questions you need to consider first.
Yes, or do you have unlimited Fezes that shoots out of your Fez? I don't know.
Just pretty silly.
What do you call the strandy bit of the Fez? The black part?
That's the one you drag when you shoot the Fezes. Pew, 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 pew.
Like that could turn into a helicopter rotor.
Oh, yeah.
Or it could stretch out and you could use it as a whip.
Almost use it like a Fez nunchuck.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when you said like Fez helicopter, I kept on thinking of that one scene from Hoodwinked where it's that singing goat. It was like, I was prepared.
No, actually, I use it for something even better. I take the Fez off, I turn it upside down, and I have a tassel. Oh, a tassel.
The ultimate distraction.
Don't toy with me, you saucy minx.
Oh my gosh, Salem. Oh my gosh. Oh.
But yeah, even so, like, he kind of already has a Fez-themed Magisword that shoots Fezes, so I think he's good on that front.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess I already have the Fez-themed superhero thing when I was the Green Ranger.
That too. Yeah.
Okay, so now I have a very, very important question. I need Uncle Songhorse and Uncle Jasper's ears very well.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, Lightning Blaze is asking, why are you guys friends with me and why are you putting up with my silliness?
Is that even a question?
You're joking, right? Like seriously, is that even a question?
That is a question she typed in the chat, and I know the feeling of when I ask my friends that type of question, so I know it's a very important question. So I hope you put your answers truthfully and wholeheartedly.
Well, I have the answer here in 3 bullets. 1, because you're cool. 2, because you're awesome. And 3, and most importantly, because we love you to bits! Now shut up and feel accepted!
Okay.
What he said.
Aggressive affection, got it. Okay.
I will aggressively hug you to death.
I'm just reminded of that one meme. It's like, you won't accept my love! Or it could be like my wife's branding statement. I'm willing to kill you with kindness.
She will. She'll do it. She's got a baking spoon.
She totally will do it. I am not joking when I say that.
Sounds like there's a lot of philia love in the air, and that's nice. Good to know. Okay. Ska vi se. Bushi asked, Thespio, have you ever been called Mel Blanc of the Brony analysis or the VA community?
Okay, I'm sorry. Calling me that's way too nice. Honestly, I don't know how to really take being called the next Mel Blanc or the Mel Blanc of the I don't know, just I'll be perfectly honest, part of me, I try to stay as humble as possible, but I think that's been working against me to where I have a little bit of self-esteem issues, so comparing myself to another seasoned veteran like Mel Blanc is I'm not sure how to how to take that, to be honest. It's I mean, I'm still trying to get used to the fact that I do have skills. That's why I have my career coach that I've been with for about, gosh, like almost like 2 years now. I mean, thanks for the compliment, I guess, but I don't think I'm that level, at least not yet, nor do I think I want to be. Those are like some big shoes to fill, and I don't know.
Do I gotta pull out the chart again?
Not yet. Maybe not yet.
Do you want a distraction?
I will aggressively build up your ego, dang it!
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, hope that answers your question, but if not, then just meh.
Yeah. I did hear you have been working on MC Arch's. Is that audio drama or stories? I'm not sure what the correct term would be.
And MC Arch's albums. I wanna.
You do a very good Discord voice there.
Thanks. But yeah, I want to say those are like more musical fan fiction, I guess. That I don't know what he calls it actually. I mean, I was happy to do that work for him, as I did have the pleasure of meeting him at I think a convention or two. I think the first one I met him was like at Everfree Northwest one year. But yeah, being able to do a wide variety of different project mediums, be it music, fic readings, animations, and the like, it's what I do, and I'm pretty good at it, I guess.
We have a repeating question because now you can choose to give another answer. Lightning Bliss is asked. Chris, ask Will and Joey, why are you friends with me? Why are you putting up with my shenanigans?
Do I have to bring out the chart again?
We refer you to our previous answer, and we will put that on loop and put it on a vinyl to play in your bedroom while you sleep every night if we have to.
You know what? I'm gonna get you a doormat with that exact writing written hand stitched on it, and I will nail it to your door because I do not know how a doormat works.
Well, something she will see every time she leaves or enters the apartment, so I think that's a good thing.
If there's any Etsy shops that make doormats, we may have a commission in mind for you.
There you go. Okay. Let's see. The question for everybody. Do you have a favorite Dr. Wolf videos moment? Oh no, a favorite moment with Dr. Wolf's videos. If you have seen any of them.
Like, aside from the ones that we've done ourselves?
Yeah, I guess if you're in it yourself, like your OC is in it yourself, it might be bias.
I like the ones he did with Discord and Tarek. T-Rex. Now I'm doing it.
Oh yeah, that's right, because like Doc's brother just happens to share a similar yet spelled differently and pronounced differently name as one of the villains, so you can imagine how fun that's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
I think
I'm sorry, you were saying, Far?
I think I would also go for the Discord one.
Bad. For me, I would actually. This is one that I actually find myself rewatching a little bit from time to time because I have gone through similar instances. I actually am really fond of one of Firebrand's moments with him talking about anger management. It's one of a select few of moments that its relevancy still holds up today and doesn't rely on it being dated concerning talking about the show and the like. It feels timeless, and this, like, I mean, I'm sure all moments could apply to everyone and given certain situations that people are in, but yeah, the one with Firebrand and anger management resonates a little bit more with me, and I find myself re-watching or re-listening to it from time and time again if I'm ever in a mood. It's either that or the moment with Rarity. So yeah, either one of those two.
Yeah, that's fair. Have everybody said one now, or?
I don't think Brass has.
Well, it's kind of a toss-up between the one with Maddie and Mary Sue, or the one with mentally advanced Twilight.
Oh yeah, the recent one with Maddie and Mary Sue. That's another one that's been growing to another one of my favorites, just because of the dichotomy between the three characters and how they bounce off of one another. So, yeah.
I thought that one was sweet.
What about you, Prof?
I think he just said he likes the Discord one.
The Discord one.
Yeah, he already said the Discord one.
Yeah.
I like Discord as a character, and
my brain is all over the place.
Prof? Prof? Did we lose you?
Nope.
Okay. You said you like Discord as a character?
Yeah. I think it's an interesting character. It's a character I love to hate.
Okay.
And therefore it was interesting to see him with Dr. Wolf.
Ah. Okay. You were about to say something as well, Jasper?
I forgot what I was.
Okay, that's okay. I haven't seen all of the moments with Dr. Wolf yet, but I don't know. The one with there are a lot of them that I have seen that is sticking out, but Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, or the last one with Lightning Bliss was also very, very good. So it's, as a few people know, that I am a certified therapist. So it's nice to see something like this when they are just letting out what they need to let out, at the same time at least getting some guidance or guided conversation to help them do self-realization. Or, of course, these are most of them are just characters, but I think it's still interesting how they're able to read into those characters this well. And for people like Lightning Bliss and Ari and all the others, it's nice to see how their character grows, and also the person behind the character as well. So I like them very much.
I just thought of something.
Yeah?
I myself have never actually had a moment with Dr. Wolf, but I guess the prank call between me and him kind of counts.
Yeah, I think that'd be fair to say. I have seen a few comments saying like this is probably the closest we'll get to one, and they seem accepting of that. So yeah, guess that could count.
Yeah, but it still would be interesting to see what would Jasper the character talk about if he had a moment with Dr. Wolf. So I think that can be an interesting video, because most of what people see from him is like the fun and the gags and the pizzas. Like, but what's under the pizza crust? What's under the cheese?
Sauce.
First I need to find out which issue I want to tackle the most, because I've got a plentiful list in color.
Well, you know, you gotta start somewhere. Maybe start with the pepperoni. Or
now I want actual pizza.
I'm sorry.
I will say this. Now that you do mention it, on again, off again, I have been possibly thinking about another moment with me. We just, me and Doc have just yet to finalize it, but I'll just say this much: it's pretty heavy, and I think it relies to like both my character and just me as a person. So I think that'll be kind of right up your alley. Just but yeah, it still has yet to be finalized. I know that it's been sort of on again, off again. We're just trying to figure things out.
Take your time, and when it comes out, it will be worth it, because good things take time. Okay. Sorry if I pronounced this wrong. Cavatina MLP. Question for Thespio. I constantly struggle with those stupid mouth pops in my audio recordings, even when I drink plenty of water. Any other tips to how to avoid them or edit them out?
Yes, I do have a few tips, actually. The main thing that you'll want to get, if you don't have this already, is something called a pop filter. I'm sure you can find a decent one on Amazon. It's basically just a little screen of sorts that you put in front of your mic to help lessen the blow of any plosives you had with like hard P's or B's or maybe sometimes even D's and stuff like that. Another tip I have is to also be mindful of your distance between the mic and your mouth. A big tip or a technique that I like to do is to help measure the distance between it is to take one hand and the distance between your pinky finger extended to your thumb, almost like you're doing like the "yeah dude, hang 10," that sort of hand gesture. That the distance that you have between your pinky and your thumb from the mic to your mouth, that's usually a pretty good sizable distance to have. That way you're not really close to the mic and you're not too far away to where there's an echo. So yeah, definitely pop filter and the distance measure. But also like another trick I like to do, if there's any sort of hard P's, I have a tendency to do like almost like a head twitch sort of thing, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Like I turn my head just slightly to one side to where I'm still on mic and it can still be picked up, but it's not as harsh sounding. And like the pa, it can be like turned to the side and not be caught on mic. It's almost kind of I think I sort of picked that technique up. It's not the exact same technique, but the same thing that Tay Zonde did for Chocolate Rain, where he moves away from the mic to breathe. It's sort of a similar tactic that I do for plosives and the like. But yeah, those are definitely some tips I follow. Get a pop filter, be mindful of your distance from the mic, and yeah, that's I'm sure you could also look up other tutorials, but that's at least what I do.
There you
I
go.
got a story about a pop filter.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 years ago, I had a pop filter that stopped working. I don't know what happened to it. I couldn't see any rips in it, but I was popping like crazy all my recordings. And I had a video to make about it was a BronyCon announcement. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to make this video without using the letter P. So I wasn't able to properly say my character's name. I wasn't properly able to talk about the show the convention's dedicated to. I wasn't able to properly talk about panels or purchasing convention merch or playing Prance.
Wow, that's that must have been torturous.
So I found synonyms for each. I just said I'm brass. I'll be attending a few seminars, including the TF2 one. I'll be playing that game where you have to severely injure each other's hands.
Oof, yeah. You're creative.
I can't take some of my friends with me. I can drive my steam engine, October there, though. The Baltimore and Ohio Railway Museum is only a 15-minute walk away from the convention center. And I ended up by saying, hopefully that'll be cheaper than taking an airplane. I mean, oh, bugger.
Nice.
Actually, that did remind me. If you're not able to, like, I mean, pop filters are relatively inexpensive if you buy them on Amazon, but if you want to like try build one at home, I do remember there was this one guy who all he did was unravel a metal coat hanger, and just fashion it into like a ring, and then put pantyhose on it as a screen. So that is one alternative, but I'm sure you can find like a decent pop filter that's relatively inexpensive on Amazon or something.
Yeah, the ones you usually find in Norway is like $10. A very
like
decent
10.
one, at least here in Norway.
Yeah, like $10-$20. That's probably how much they go for. There are some high-end ones. Like I know there actually is one that I'm looking at that was recommended to me by a casting director that I took a workshop from. But yeah, it's like about it works double as like a pop filter and sound dampening instrument that you can actually stick on your microphone, but it's pretty expensive. So I'm working my way to get that, but for those who are starting out and for ones that want to improve their technique, yeah, you can find a relatively inexpensive one on Amazon, or you can make one yourself with a coat hanger and pantyhose.
There you go. Also, we have a question from Snowy Duskflare was first. Duskflare is asking, Ludicrous and the stream, what is everybody's favorite drinks? And I think she is referring to both alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
I don't touch alcohol, so I'm just.
No, I'm totally teetotal.
So I'm more of a chocolate milk ginger ale type of guy.
Okay.
Yeah, ginger ale or OJ, orange juice for me. Yeah, I don't touch alcohol either. It's either that or no, wait, it is that. But I also have yet to. I'm kind of like Firebrand. I have yet to find one that I can actually tolerate the taste of, because even just the aroma of alcohol makes me nauseous.
Well, like even if there is a drink that tastes good, I am not willing to deal with the after effects.
I have a friend in high school. I had a friend in high school who talked about trying champagne for the first time on New Year's Eve. You just hear, Happy New Year.
I think I would also go with apple tea, and I'm surprised because the alcohol I can say the same. I don't touch that stuff.
So yeah, sorry we can't party it up with you. We're
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's normally I'm the only one.
Hey.
So I guess to quote the genie, none for us. We're the designated drivers.
Yep.
Yeah, that nobody comes with it.
Yeah,
pretty much. That's actually kind of interesting, as that is one of the ways I made a living up until the pandemic hit. I was a driver for Uber and Lyft.
Ah.
And let's just say New Year's Eve was a rough time.
Ufto.
I'm trying not to imagine because I can already feel the pain.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, you can make a decent amount for driving people around, but in Norway, for some reason, we have gotten these stupid. We call them bomstasjon, which is basically when you pass through like this very tall stick in the road. They basically take money from your bank account because you're paying an extra tax that didn't exist before for the road and cars and stuff, and it made it.
So it's almost like a toll road?
Yeah, basically we have a lot of those now. It's like 20 or 10 kroners, which would be $1 or $2 every time you pass one. And it's like different areas have different amounts of them. So now you can't do that anymore here in Norway because it's too hecking expensive.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was a nice thing to do before that. Then I were able to not just make sure my friends got home safe, but also making a fair amount of gas money. Yay! Ska vi se. Sonovi Motorcycle ask, question for Jasper Pie, do you still do prank calls on your YouTube channel?
I do. I still actually have a few coming up. I just don't want to say who just yet. It'll
Ooh.
spoil the surprise.
No spoilers!
Yeah.
No spoilers!
No spoilers! Ska vi se. Magic Star Flash. Ask all, forgive me if this was already asked before. I got here, but what has been your favorite project to work on and why?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, and no worries, Magic Star. It hasn't been asked before, so you're clear.
You're gonna make me choose my children.
Okay, maybe not including your own. Maybe where you have been collabing with others, if that's easier.
That's different.
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably either or one of the prank calls or like any episode from TF2 where me or Thespio are the leading roles. Or the magic lessons.
Oh, this is a toughie for me. I think I would have to say, like, at least, like, in terms of the final product and how well everything seemed to mesh together, I would actually say I think the TF2 analysis episode, Double Rainbow, particularly, like, the ending scenes with, when Twink first entered the picture, me and Jasper experimented with different music pieces, and yeah, particularly when Twink is going on a rampage and also like charging at Dr. Wolf, just how well the volume mixing sounded. I don't know, just it hit that sweet spot, and like there are some days where I was able to replicate that sweet spot. Just it's a bit few and far and in between, but it was either that or either Double Rainbow or Blinded by the Phoenix. I think I was pretty proud of how those came out. But yeah, also the recent Magic lesson with Casper Cake, that was also pretty fun. But yeah, I think that's
Money.
Brass or Prof, have you been in any projects that you like very well?
Only as an editor.
You have voiced one though.
Yeah, okay. The Christmas carols, yeah, but I prefer to be an editor than a voice actor.
That's fair. Brass, how about you?
I remember things going pretty smoothly for making the art assets for Blinded by the Phoenix. Because no matter how much you enjoy something, at times it can get super frustrating. But when I was working on Golden Fox's Superform vectors and I was making all those props, things went pretty smoothly. Maybe just a coincidence, but that's when I look back on and think
think not.
That's what I look back on and think if the process of working on stuff for any TF2 episode could go as smoothly as it did for that episode, I'd be a happy guy.
Happy pony. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hard question for me as well. I've been so lucky to be a part of, well, not as many as you, most of you guys, but I was lucky enough to be a part of Fluff's 3K video. I've been in. I'm one of the narrators in Fallout Equestria Dead Tree. I've been voicing Rosalia in the same as Prof has been voicing Ramosky. It's a hard thing to choose from because they've been a lot of fun, and the part of making it is a lot more fun than when you're done. So it's hard to choose. Ska vi se.
I don't know. Like for me, there have been some instances where I enjoy the fact that the product is finished rather than actually making it. It depends. It depends on circumstances. There have been some times where I enjoy making it and I'm sad that it's finished. Other times I think making it is a chore and that I'm glad it's finished. It's a lot of different stuff on different days. It depends.
Testify.
Also, I have gotten this week's sponsorship. Apparently.
You?
Yeah, you know, the thing about basically joking about me getting different sponsorships every week. And this week, I am sponsored by Uber Eats. Thank you, Final Sight.
So, a company I work for is sponsoring you. Sweet. When do I get my cut?
Yeah, you know, expected within 14 weekdays, work days. Work weeks. Yada. See you.
Rip off.
Work week. Like, when is a work week? Like, a work week, is that 5 days or is it the whole week?
For me at least, yeah, I can 5 days for me. Although sometimes, depending on because I'm an independent contractor and work on my own schedule, I have the freedom to work for as few or as many days as I like in a week. It just depends on what's going on during that specific week in terms of what else I have on my schedule or what bills need to be paid, and you know, just that stuff. It's a lot to juggle.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Question for Thespio and Jasper. What are your favorite characters to voice? Maybe except your own OC.
Ooh. Would they have to be like also outside of our own projects that both of us were a part of, or like something completely outside of that, or does it matter?
I think like Jasper cannot take. What's your evil twin again? The blue guy. Like.
Hey, Miss Casper Cake, and now I am feeling insulted.
I'm sorry. Hide under my wings.
I want my shitty lawyer that I found on the internet.
Yeah. Alternative versions of yourself or your original OC is no. It has to be something that's not related to you, but something that you voiced.
I think my top 3 favorite non-Casper or Jasper voices that I like to do are basically... Well, there's this one user named Enterprise and Engines. I voice their handle for him a lot. Well, of course, there's Max. Who can resist a face this twisted?
Yeah, fair. Thespio?
And
sorry.
And there's one more. I can't remember the name.
Was it maybe like the weather pony and Fiara's news from the bunker stuff?
Yee! Weather pony!
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. I feel so bad for him every single episode. Oh.
Oh, shush. He wakes up the next morning with a smile on his face and a will taped on his door. Why do I keep getting these every week?
Oh boy. Huh. I do know at least one that I do enjoy voicing, just because of the complicated vocabulary that he uses with nonchalance. I would have to say Sam. He's always a blast to do, just to see, like, okay, what fancy, nonsensical, insane-filled words do I get to say today? Ooh. But aside from that, Also, the Mighty Magisword narrators for the time cards and other projects. That's also pretty fun. I get to be creative with that.
You also do a pretty good pro highest, just saying.
Oh yeah, that too. But I have to say, like, another close favorite would probably have to be like, I also like voicing Discord in other projects, but I think my favorite project that I voiced him with is in Toucan LDM's Sailor Moon meets My Little Pony two-parter. That what I cannot get enough of watching the final product of that. They never cease to make me laugh.
God bless you, Toucan. I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Ska vi se. Frostbite is wondering, Jasper, is the inside of your fez a portal to another dimension?
You will never know.
There we go. Question
And
for
neither will I.
dun, dun, dun. Question for everyone: do you have a favorite Disney villain?
I like the coachman from Pinocchio.
He's spooky.
A tie between Jafar or Yzma.
He's
Those are my favorites too, but I also like it. Okay, Yzma in terms of comedic, seriously sinister, I would have to go with Judge Frodo.
oh, he's creepy.
yeah.
He's creepy. Oh, he's cute.
We need Tony J back.
I would go for Syndrome from the Incredibles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey, fun.
Syndrome. Yeah, he's pretty good. He was pretty good too.
The consequence of what
I
happens
preferred-
when you beat your idols.
I prefer if villains have a reason to do it, not only for, yes, he is evil, or he wants power, but if when the villain mates is speak, and you listen to it and you say, I don't like how you do it, but you have a point.
He's in the wrong place, but he got a point. Yeah. I don't really have a favorite villain because I don't like the villains.
Maleficent?
Nah.
Oh.
Like, I know she has this other movie with the story, but I haven't seen it, and it's I don't know. I don't like evil people. I'm sorry.
I miss the days of the diabolical ham sandwiches. The twist villains are becoming too plentiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind if villains don't have a backstory if their motivations are clear. And Maleficent's motivation maybe wasn't quite clear, but you take someone like the Wicked Witch of the West, her motivation was pretty clear. She didn't need this tragic backstory.
You squished my sister!
Squish.
And I think, like, also, would Ursula kind of count as one? Where
I think Ursula
it was
definitely
pretty
counts.
clear because she lives alone. She was banished and the like. So yeah, I'd say that fits.
From what Harmony told me, her Broadway version backstory was a lot more deep.
And I'll probably have to check that out again. It's been a while since I listened to the soundtrack.
Disney geeks. We're all around.
Apparently, she and Triton were actually siblings, I believe, and someone's got family issues.
Oh, I'll shut my mouth.
I think. Honey, correct me if I'm wrong if you're still in the chat.
Okay. Snowy Motorcycle asked, do you guys have any favorite songs? Like a song that like you really like that you can recommend to people?
That okay, that is like me trying to pick one of my children. When it comes to music, that is
okay.
That is something I admit I am a hoarder of. I need to thin out my library. I really do.
Okay, let's make the question different. Do you have a favorite song in the My Little Pony Serie? If that's easier.
Right. Okay, that helps. I kind of have a soft spot for I'll Fly
Ooh.
Rainbow Dash sings in Thanks for the Memories. It's very nicely produced, and it's one of those rare cases where we get to see another side of Rainbow Dash that's not just the tomboy, I'm so awesome, nothing can touch me, ha ha ha. We see another side to her and how much she cares for Tank, and you know what? I have a soft spot for that.
Oh, that's nice. Anyone else?
Oh, sorry. You go first.
Thanks.
Which one? There was like
Chrysalis,
2 of us.
This day Aria.
Ooh. Yee.
The most creative use of an aria.
Brass?
I think my favorite song from the show is Heartswarming Eve is Here Once Again from Heartswarming Tale.
Ah, sweet.
That was the first time. I'd never done this before or since, but that was the first time I was watching an episode for the first time. And I liked the song so much, I went back and listened to it again. I had never done that before or since, but I like the song that much. To me, it's just bursting with atmosphere.
Yeah, very true. Jasper?
As for me, I want to be the typical guy and say smile, but lately my tastes have been leaning more towards a Kieran tale or Better Way to Be Bad.
Ooh, nice. I might be boring and say the lullaby Applejack sings to Sweetie Bloom.
Apple Bloom.
It's not.
Yeah, to the Apple Bloom. My bad. It's starting to get late. Yes, no?
It's a sweet song, so no one will blame you.
Yay. I know there are a lot of others that are amazing with the music and how they're singing and character development, all that stuff, but I don't know. It's just, it's a sweet, reassuring lullaby and just warms our heart.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Here. Did not see this one coming. Orsk, one of my moderators, asked, question for everybody. Everybody. How did you meet Chris? As far as I know, I only met one of you in person, but maybe started talking through internet, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, like how we met you?
Yeah.
So a bit of backstory I'm kind of embarrassed about.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go and hide now. Where?
So once upon a time, I was doing my casual internet stuff, and then suddenly I get approached by the Chris, who asks if I can join a podcast. And at first, my first instinct was, "Hey, you're a stalker! Run away, and hide!" But then I saw she mentioned Bliss, so I thought I'd investigate. So I go to Bliss and a few others, and I ask around, and they recommended you, and thus here we are today. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. I didn't mean to. I did a big boo boo. I'm sorry.
Rangers scare me.
I know. I get scared too. That's why I'm sorry.
But now we know you and we likes you.
Yay.
Yeah.
I likes you all too. Thank you.
It's kind of funny that that's how that story transpired, because in a way that's sort of the same shtick of how I discovered you, but I mean not so much.
Wait, how you discovered me?
Or like how you and I met. I think, or at least I was aware of your existence when I saw, I think it was either Bliss or Silver retweet one of your past episodes, or like at the time you were currently streaming.
Hmm.
And I thought, like, okay, I'm just now trying to upstart my Twitch again. I'll give her a follow.
No.
And then yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago when I when you tagged me on Twitter, and I'm like, it's like, can I ask you something? And I'm just like, yes. And then yeah, it's kind of similar to Jasper. I asked around. I asked Bliss. I asked him, and also checked out your past stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, why not?
Yay. Thank you.
I was first aware of your existence. I was idly Googling prance cards.
Oh.
By the way, Chris,
Yeah?
is it true that you have your own unique symbol?
Yes? I has the Twitch pony.
Oh man, I was busy for another hour after I saw that picture. I had a hard time believing it. I think I still might, even though I've heard it straight from the horse's mouth.
Horse noises.
Yeah, I'm an avid Prance player.
Yeah, if you would like a card, I can let. I would need your address though, sadly. So.
Oh, thank you. That'd be delightful.
Yeah, hopefully
we'll talk after.
Yeah, hopefully
we'll sort that out afterwards.
Trade maybe if you have one. You know, it's
Thank
fun.
you.
Yay! Thank you. Okay, Prof, do you want to tell?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry.
That was when I first discovered Chris, and then I did see in the TF2 chat Jasper asking, "Is Chris on the up and up?" And you got a glowing ovation. I want to say ovation, but that's not the right word.
What?
A glowing recommendation.
Oh.
Everyone said, "Yeah, she's on the up and up."
Oh, thank you, everyone.
And I put that in the vault. I put that in the vault. And then about 2 weeks ago, Chris reached out to me on DeviantArt. I'm like, okay.
Thank you, everybody. I'm totally not crying right now.
No crap. Blue skies and unicorn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that lovely. Yeah, Prof, do you, your turn.
It was over visual because he met you at the GalaCon before, and when I started to become an editor for him, yeah, that's how I learned to know you.
Yes, but
And for everyone, a fair warning: should you ever meet her, she will run to you and give you a hug. Make sure you get a good stand. She might look small, but it's like it's like if a train hits you.
okay. To clarification, if I know that you are not comfortable, or if you have not a very good body, I will not do it. But if you have, and if you said yes, then yes, I will glump you. If it's okay.
I won't say no to it. Just know that me and Finn once got into a hug sumo wrestling match.
Well, let's make it a 3-way fight then.
I
Sorry.
was about to say, I want a rematch!
Yee! Why do I imagining everybody else around us starts racing bets and having popcorn? My brain is weird, I'm sorry.
All right. All right. Who can crush whose other ribcage first? Place your bets. Place your bets.
I will affectionately love the fudge out of you if it kills me! That will kill me!
Oh, okay. Yep. First interaction with Prof was basically just an eye look to like, Prof? And then it was like, no! Yeah.
Like I said, get a good start. Just straight with it.
Yeah, you're about like at least 1/3 taller than me, I think.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting something like that.
Yeah, true. But we had a lot of fun at the con. I really hope GalaCon gets back up and hopefully in the future can go to cons in America. I haven't been on a con in America yet. Så ska vi se. Silver Bliss. Ja då. Lightning Bliss says, while in real life, Dr. Wolf isn't a therapist by occupation, we tend to take this A Moment with Dr. Wolf videos as a means to vent with a trusted friend in a fun and cute settings. Yes, very important to know.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Also, Wushi says, why do I suddenly question crits being Dr. Wolf's assistants? And I just like, I don't know. I don't know if that would be what my pony would do. But thank you. Sounds sweet.
Okay, an idea just popped up. Grizz, would you want to be Dr. Wolf's secretary?
Also,
I don't know why, but that just popped in my head. It's like Doc is like on the intercom. It's like, Chris, schedule my next meeting, please. Yes, doctor.
yes, doctor.
Oh,
Yeah, also, would it be fun to try out if he's comfortable with it? Like, I'm always up to voice fun voice.
Or another idea. What if the therapist, Doc, needs a therapist? Chris.
Yeah, but that
that'd be great.
yeah, you know, a moment with Dr. Wolf, a moment with Flitterchris. Well, I don't know. It depends. Also,
One of those rare occasions where
Yes.
he is on the couch.
dun, dun, dun. Yeah, like at the end of a work day, and the secretary comes in, and then suddenly he flumps on the sofa, and she flumps in his chair. That would have been fun if he would be up for it. I would be honored. But yeah, I don't wanna. It's totally up to him. He is fully allowed to say no. But yeah, it would be fun. Sorry, I'm getting nervous. Okay.
No worries.
Pat.
Except Pat's tilt said. Okay. Focus, breathe. You need oxygen, right? Okay. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions that you would like to ask any of the other in the chat, by the way? I totally forgot to ask about that. And we actually hit the 2-hour mark. Oops.
I do have a question, actually.
Yeah?
It goes for Monsieur Polish.
Okay.
Bullish.
Why does King Grover ship me and Maddie's hats?
You asked me to think how someone made of stone works.
Yes?
Yes! That's exactly how
inanimate.
someone made of stone works.
Well, it seems entirely reasonable that an inanimate object would ship other inanimate objects.
Because, you know, we ship organic objects. Maybe they ship inner and English.
And also need to remind you, we do have Boulder and whatever Mudbriar names his stick. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, so since we do still have some questions in chat and we are having fun, I hope, but we have hit the 2-hour mark, so I will say thank you so much for joining me. And do you guys want to continue for maybe an hour more or something if you want to or have time?
I wouldn't mind.
Work starts in 4 hours, so then I have time.
Yay!
I think I can spare another hour.
Yay!
Oh, what the heck? Sure, I'll spare another hour.
Yay! Fun, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
After
But
stream!
first, I would just like to say one thing.
Yeah?
Maddie, that is lies and slander!
Oh no. Here we go.
What did Maddie say?
What did she say?
She asked who is best soldier!
Uh-oh.
And automatically my brain went to her thinking Maddie is best soldier, but it just lies! I am the best! I am the one who can make the boom boom happen!
You're the one who make the boom boom smells like pizza. Yeah.
Guys, let's make a compromise and say that you both cause bodily damage to each other in equal amounts.
Oofda.
Oh, if we're gonna be fair.
Okay, here's something related to train. Ask all. Have you heard of the musical Starlight Express? It's a stage musical about trains.
Oh yeah, I believe it's the guy
I've never
who
seen it.
practically almost single-handedly sunk Thomas the Tank Engine before it even began. That being Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, I've heard about Starlight Express, the musical. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the one where all the actors perform while on roller skates?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of it. I have not checked it out. I only remember of its existence from this one Family Guy flashback where it's just Peter repeating, Starlight Express! Starlight Express! Starlight Express! That's all I really know of context of it. But, yeah, I've heard about it. Maybe I'll check it out. Just time.
Yeah.
Same. I have never seen it. I'm tempted to, but I haven't gotten around to it.
I also have never seen the musical itself, but a few songs of them I like.
There you go. Question for Thespio. As we know, Jasper already has a doppelganger of himself. More goofy than dark, but still dark. What do you think the odds are that Thespio, Midnight Sonata, or Dragonfire possibly getting dark doppelgangers of their own?
Well, I can't speak for Harmony Dancer. That's up to her if she decides to have one, or if she already has one and just hasn't yet revealed to it. It's been a while since I've personally spoke to her, so I can't speak for her. But and I don't know if I can really speak for Midnight either. I mean, we've pretty much established that she herself is a dark side, with her being a demon.
I was gonna say, isn't she her own dark side?
Yeah, she is her own dark side, so that's
There you go.
But
So technically, if she did have a dark side, it'd be a light side. It'd be the most precious, stereotypical Disney princess ever.
yeah, basically Finn's sister.
Aww.
Oh God.
But yeah, for me, I also want to say I don't want to say that Hufio counts as a dark side, as that's part of Casper. But you know, it is.
Yeah, Hufio doesn't count.
Yeah, Hufio doesn't count. But it is funny you mention a dark side. I have thought about it. Everything all right, Chris?
Everything all right?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I can
can.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, the sound disappeared for a moment.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like I was saying, I've thought about it. I have thought about giving Thespio a dark side, on again, off again. It's kind of turned into a little bit of a passion project in and of itself. I just have yet to start on it. I have thought of ideas for it. I just have yet to put it into motion, mostly just because of other things. But yeah, I have thought about it. You just have yet to see it.
Okay.
That's all I can really say.
Okay. Also.
I had a small follow-up question about this. Since it was only asked about dark side. If one character is already dark side, could it be that this character get its light side?
Well, yeah, we did mention that with Midnight possibly having one. I don't know if she would be up for that, but it is something to think about with. But yeah, she's practically her own dark side.
Mm.
She's the villain in her own story, and literally everyone else's.
Dun, dun, dun. Now I'm just starting to wonder, okay, what would Dark Flittercrisp be? I don't want to think about it. Moving on. Jasper and Thespio, what is your favorite moment with Bliss? I assume it's from videos.
Anytime the three of us get to act as a trio.
Aww.
In a sense, yeah. Like I do have a soft spot for like our very first magic lesson with where we kind of introduced Jasper in a sense. It was the one where we gave, I forget what the title was exactly, but it was the one where we gave Twink the voice of Schwarzenegger.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a bit of a soft spot for that, but actually one of my favorites that I periodically that I sometimes listen back on is actually Blissey It's Cold Outside that we did a couple Christmases ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I have a bit of a soft spot for that. It came out really nice.
Jag ska fortsätta göra för en halvtimme till.
From time to time, it's like, you know what, this was good. I'm glad we did this.
The song has implications, but it's heartwarming.
Yay!
Thankfully, we made it without any sort of implications, or at least tried to, thanks to the help of Finn and Luximus. But yeah.
Just gonna show question for all. Are there any not so obvious audio editing tricks that dramatically improve the quality of the recording? That beginners might not be aware of, besides noise reduction. Noise reduction, thank you.
I was gonna say, never have your music louder than your dialogue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have made this mistake multiple times.
What I think was quite useful was working with left and right channels. Normally you only have the voice line, you have the audio effects, and all are equally disputed over both channels. But if you play a little bit that it is loud on the right channel, loud on the left channel, especially in a scene where a lot is going on, you can have the feeling that not everything is in front of you, but that you are surrounded by it. That's from my point of view, drastically improves the feeling of being in a scene instead of observing a scene.
Yeah, I can understand that. Almost like give it almost like a bit of surround sound-ish kind of feel, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't go that far because that is the problem again, how to listen it.
Det var tydeligvis ganske god med sparrande
but only playing with left and right channel already goes into the direction without requiring special hardware to listen to it.
Yeah. One thing that I've noticed, like, it's not true for everybody else, but at the very least for me, being mindful of something called sibilance. Like, I naturally have a tendency to I naturally have very hard S's when I speak, and sometimes, at least for my recordings, I usually go back to like, if there's any sort of extra sibilance, not just from me but from other people, I go back while editing the dialogue and decrease the volume of those S's just ever so slightly, so that way it doesn't sound like seashells by the seashore, you know, that sort of thing, to where it doesn't sound like just little blips of static. So that's one.
I have to do that with my program, King Grover's Court, because I'm always saying such and such asks, and I always have to lower the volume of the S in the word asks.
Yeah, so it's like at least for me, it's a little more tedious because, you know, that's how I usually sound. That's how I normally speak. That's just how my mouth is structured. So, but yeah, be mindful of sibilances. That's another tip.
Mm-hmm. You were gonna say something, Joey?
I forgot if I had any actual tips other than make sure or the music isn't louder than the dialogue. Yeah, the
dialogue needs to be the loudest element, but not necessarily eardrum bursting. Just make sure nothing overshadows it.
Yeah. And this is more of an acting thing than an actual audio editing thing. Have plenty of water on standby and no dairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will clog up your mouth a lot, or fast.
Yeah, and also on that same topic, just simple water will be fine. No juice, especially no soda, and not even sports drinks, because those will actually dry out your mouth faster.
Yeah.
Because of the added chemicals and I think like also the sugar. So just simple and also room temperature water.
Yes.
Because I think there's like something with iced water that doesn't really achieve the same effect. It's better if it's room temperature water.
Isn't it an hour before you start recording that you're like the last chance to eat? Because if you have just eaten, your mouth is weird and your body is working through the digestion stuff, so you have more chance to burp.
Yeah, I've had to edit out so many burps.
Yeah. So
I think most of my blooper reel is just burping.
Actually, fun story. One time when I was recording for our News from the Bunker, I got the hiccups halfway through recording.
Oh.
And then I had to stop, save the file, wait a bit, wait till my voice was all not hiccuping, and then get back on the ball.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think I actually remember, like, once upon a time, back in, like, an old group of ours, someone actually recorded your hiccups, and they were just laughing up a storm. And
I have
just-
bullfrog hiccups.
Bullfrog?
Yeah.
Like type of thing?
Something like that, but a bit deeper. It's like...
Yeah, okay. Mines are usually like or something.
So yeah, I remember that bit, and you were just like, yeah, yak it up. Yeah, and I was just sitting here in the corner like, I feel bad for you. It's not all everyone laughing.
Didn't help that on that day I was also suffering from losing the pop quiz.
No.
So it was like, so do you want to just kick me over a ditch now, or wait till the locusts arrive?
Snowy is wondering, do you guys have a favorite My Little Pony villain?
Three-way tie between Chrysalis, T-Rex, and the Dazzlings.
Ooh.
I'd have to say the Dazzlings for me.
And this might sound weird, I actually kind of like that T-Rex was more of the brains behind the tree, rather than just the big muscly guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyrek is definitely, like, if anything else, like a close second for me.
My original answer would have been Discord, except he became a good guy, so that kind of cancels out.
Yeah, the reformation thing really narrows it down.
I don't think that Reformation villain doesn't count as a villain anymore. I mean, he was a villain for a time. For example, I would say Starlight Glimmer.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they were a villain, you can say.
Yeah, but I like her. I liked her Reformation too. The moment that sold me on it was when she and Spike were going through the Crystal Empire, and she's looking for ways to stall, and she points to the statue, and Spike indulges everyone around him for a moment, but then reels himself back in and says, "Me and Starlight gotta go." And Starlight's, "What? Go carry on." And he's like, "I know you want to stall me, but." Like, that was a great moment between the two, and it totally sold me on Starlight's Reformation, because she's reformed, but she hasn't changed. She's still got the gift of gab. She's still kind of manipulative. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a fun journey.
You mean Crits might join TF2? No, I don't think that's going to mean I'm going to join TF2, but thank you for asking, Wushi.
Isn't that kind of up to Doc and Josh, the ones who run the show?
Yeah.
Don't ask us.
Yeah, and I don't know if me being secretary to Dr. Wolf or his secret own therapist is going to be something, but funny thoughts, but yeah, and I don't think I would fit into the TF2 stuff, because even though I have training with pew-pews, that doesn't mean that I want to do pew-pews. So,
and we already have a pure bean. Why do you think we brought Finn in this?
Yeah.
Another thing, plus too, like, we may not, like in the actual series, nothing, but I don't think that would automatically cancel out any fan art of it. I mean, I'm sure I would say we're welcome to that, just probably nothing for the official show, at least for now.
Yeah, I'm not asking to join, no worries. You guys have your stuff. Just because I talk to you guys and become friends, that doesn't mean I'm automatically, or becomes friend with some of you at least, doesn't mean that I'm automatically included in anything, because that's not how it works. That's not how things do.
Yeah, of course that's not how it works, but not saying that we won't appreciate fan art of any possibilities.
Yeah, fan art is always fun.
Or maybe like one-off guest appearances, but nothing permanent.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ska vi se. Magic Star wondering, does anyone has any favorite moments from Thomas the Tank Engines and Friends?
Oh boy.
We're gonna be here for hours.
Yeah.
If we gotta pick one single moment,
Yeah. I don't remember that much, but I remember that I really liked Tom because he was one of the kindest one on the show, I think. So that's about what I remember.
the music from Percy's ghostly trick.
Oh yeah.
It chills you to the bone in the foggy ambience. Why can't kids shows put this more effort in their ambience?
Yeah, they're too scared.
I'd actually
Well, then it's probably working now, isn't it?
I'd actually one up that and say the music from Duncan Gets Spooked.
Oh yeah, that's.
I honestly think that's a little bit more unsettling, just because of the tragedy behind that story.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, actually, something I didn't realize until like years later. Rusty never actually said if that story was true or not.
Yeah, that's the ambiguity. That's what makes it part of what makes it spooky. We don't know. I mean, you can tell it's a Scarloe model, but there's a locomotive that looks a lot like that shape. It's called Scorcher. She worked on the Festiniog Railway. Their shapes are pretty similar, so you could just sort of mentally picture it as a look-alike of that locomotive.
Oh my. So yeah, either that or Haunt. The three main stories that come to mind in terms of ambience and tone that I think really stand out to me, aside from Duncan Gets Spooked, it would be Haunted Henry and Stepney Gets Lost.
Season 5 was a big spook fest in some ways.
Stepney almost died.
Nufto.
David Mitton was having so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Two moments that really give me a thrill are in Heroes when Bill and Ben get all the workmen out of the quarry before the avalanche picks up speed and knocks everything over.
Oh yeah, that was intense.
Yeah, the bit where the last workman, the straggler, climbs into the truck as Ben is pulling out, and this rockfall is attacking this tower. I've whiled away entire evenings just rewatching that one little bit. And as a kid, I always really loved the scene in Special Attraction when Bulstrode gets dogpiled by all those stone wagons.
That one's funny.
Yeah.
The look on his face. I like that Percy Danger theme that we first heard in season 3.
About to end this barge's whole career.
However short it was.
Yeah. Apparently Bulstrode had his own name board segment, but they never used it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
even the post van and Bowler got one, but apparently Bulstrode didn't.
Oh yeah.
How would it work considering he's out in the water?
I guess that makes sense. Like, they filmed all the name board segments for season 4 on this one set, and there was no quayside on that set, so I guess having Bulstrode be on the land would be a bit questionable.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And I don't think there's any rolling stock that would fit him, that would support him, so.
True.
Okay. Did everybody get to say a favorite moment? Prof, I don't
quite had one. This show was, when it was running here in Germany, it wasn't quite fitting with my school schedule.
Oh.
No worries.
Okay. Question from Orsk. If you could be anyone that you know, who would you wish to be? Let's say for a day.
Like if we could just
say if you wanted to be Jasper for a day, you could be Jasper for a day, or you could be Lightning Bliss for a day, or you could be yeah.
I don't know.
For a day?
Anyone.
I'm pretty content with being me. I don't know if I would want to be anyone else, honestly. But again, that's just me.
I make jokes and depressional cracks, but I don't think I'd rather. But I don't know if I'd ever want to be anyone else but me. But if I had my choice, I'd probably want to be Carosa.
Oh, Palcarosa?
Because then I can say I worked on Magiswords.
Fair.
The fictional characters.
made for me.
Prof?
If fictional characters are included, I still wouldn't have a specific one, but I would say most likely a Pegasi. Because this feeling of flying, it's something I dream quite often from, and I would really love to experience.
Yeah. Fair. Anybody that I know? I think I'm in the same boat as Thespio. I've been in this body for 28 years. I know how to drive it. I know how to do stuff, and I know how to work it quirks. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think any of us would want a particular experience that's related to any sort of Freaky Friday or anything.
But still a funny question, of course. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brass, do you add any?
I can't think of anyone.
Okie dokie, moving on then. Ska vi se. Maddie also asks, but I think we already answered this. Who's best soldier?
Lies are lies. It is me. I am so great. I am so great. Everybody loves me. I am so great.
Why do I see like a whole you know when people are walking in the street with like drums and stuff and doot doot.
Like a street performer?
Yeah, just a whole bunch of Jaspers playing instruments and going, I'm the best, I am awesome, no, no, no. Oh, that'd be fun. That's...
Three
That would
cheers for the
insinuate that,
Jasper and Jasper.
Yee.
That would insinuate that that are Jasper clones that have been in the mirror pool, and part of me kind of dreads to think that.
Well, we had enough with Pinkie Pie did it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I'm even ready for it.
That's just... Yeah. Well, you would at least have a very fun... like, you can take turns on going to work and stuff. Okay. Hundrum asks, a legit question to those are part of the Pony TF2 thing. But how does you all feel about Rick Mary's, the voice actor of Soldier for TF2, passing? Yes, several months ago.
I was sad.
Yeah, I was. It didn't hit particularly hard, but it did. It was yikes.
I admit I'm not as much of a TF2 player, but I did see the shorts. I heard his acting. I loved his voice as the soldier, and I'm sad that he's gone.
Yeah, he's lived a good life, and yeah. So
He was the best. He was good, son. Maybe even the best.
yeah.
To be honest, I never heard his name. I never knew his name until Joey brought it up last year, and he said Rick, something along the lines of Rick May is dead, and I was thinking, didn't he die years ago? No, I was thinking of Rick Mail.
Right. Yeah. I can see how that can be a little confusing.
Yeah. Suckerman, who's gonna fill the position that is open since Silverquill, Sweetie Bloom, and Keypay are not going to be a part of TF2 and Lances anymore? As far as I know, no spoilers.
We are not the ones to ask.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah, we're not the ones to ask. Well, we'll just say it's already been taken care of. But any other anything further than that would go into spoilers, which we're not at liberty to discuss yet.
Yeah. So.
Well, I would just like to give my go-to answer. Why don't you wait and find out, Mr. Impatient Sir or Madam? Or Madam Sir?
So, a question for Jasper. Have you ever made a pizza in real life? And what is the weirdest pizza you ever made?
I attempted to make one from scratch when I was a little thing, but it didn't turn out so great. The crust was all thin, and the sauce overpowered the cheese. It was blech. Now when I make a pizza, in real life, I go to my go-to frozen DiGiorno peoples.
Okay. Have any other of you guys made a pizza before?
I don't really like homemade pizzas. They're too thick.
There you go.
I wish mine was thick.
Me and my wife, we recently, we haven't done it in a while, but there was one recipe where we would make our own pizza. Yes, it's basically self-rising flour and Greek yogurt is what we use to make the dough. And we also tried those frozen cauliflower crusts. Didn't really have the same effect. It was like chewing into a cracker.
Crunch,
but
crunch.
Yeah, but sometimes we haven't done it in a while, but yeah, we have made our own pizza before. We're kind of experimenting with ingredients and more healthier options and the like. So yeah, I say we have.
Teach me your ways, my son.
Do you remember the pizza Remus?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Fictional wise, weirdest would have to be the Pizza Remus.
Yeah, Pizza Remus. That was another sort of fun short to make, and we wrote it out like, I think it was actually we started shooting out ideas for it the year we were at BronyCon that I proposed to her during the panel. I think it was that year where we started getting ideas for it because we were sharing a room, and
about a few months later, our sweet little abomination popped out.
Yep, wrote it out, and it premiered about a year later, right before our wedding day.
Oh, sorry, that's sweet. I'm a girl, okay? I'm allowed.
You know what I was thinking, if there was a sequel to that, you know what you could use as a base for the dough? You know those Red Lobster biscuits?
Ooh.
Yeah, they sell those. So, well, they sell the mixture.
Okay, you got gears a-turning, Brass. I hope you're happy.
You've doomed us all.
I'm just gotta find somewhere to write that down. Ooh.
There we go. Pizza conspiracy. You're welcome.
Pizza Remus 2, electric boogaloo. And then we take the higher voltage and possibly kill everyone with indigestion.
So, how long can we wait until we get that remix, Jasper, on YouTube?
It all depends if I can get like 20 accolades and like sparkling bottled water that isn't actually
Jasper,
water.
I'll handle this, Jasper. Don't call us, we'll call you.
Okay.
I've also got like these elevator shoes that like glow for no real reason, and I don't know what I'm parodying anymore. I'm just saying whatever pops into my diseased head.
Jasper, stop it.
I'm a genius!
Yes, you are. Now go to bed. Thank you.
Kanye Clooney goes to bed when Miranda Cosgrove believes it so. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yay! Okay. Ursk is asking, for everyone, what fictional world would you wish to live in that does not include Equestria? So, human fiction world, like The Witcher or Lord of the Rings or stuff like that.
I think it would be Harry Potter.
Why am I not surprised, Prof?
It would be interesting because apparently they have a problem with matching technology, but I would try to make it go.
I would kind of want to live in either. Oh, sorry, you weren't finished.
Who wasn't?
I was finished.
Oh, in that case, I'd probably either want to live in the in the world of the Power Rangers or the galaxy where Wander Over Yonder live.
Ooh.
Because then I'd get to be in a universe with Wander! And Wander is precious fuzzy spoon.
Yay.
For me, You know what? I don't know. I would have to actually think on that.
Yeah, let's just throw you a bone and says that your dearest or your wife will also join you, of course.
Well, if that's the case, every single world, every single choice of world we had would have something that would want to kill me. So I don't know if I can really answer that.
Yeah, okay. She's not a demon in this one. She's a normal human in this one. Does that help?
No, that makes it even worse because with her being the horror nut that she is, every single world we want to live in would have at least one serial killer or supernatural entity that would want to murder people. So either way, I'm screwed.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Better idea.
Huh?
Okay, better. She's a demon, but she still loves you to pieces, and if another demons try to mess with you, she will turn them into a kebab. How about that?
Yeah, I guess that kind of narrows it down then. Okay.
Yay.
Then. Again, I'm drawing a blank, so I don't know.
That's okay. You can think about it, or you can let it go. That's okay.
I'll just let it go. I'll just say, what? Yeah, I can't answer that. So.
It's okay. It's okay. Brass?
Sodor, I guess.
So what?
The island of Sodor, where Thomas the Tank Engine takes place.
Fair. Okay.
I don't know. With the frequency of all the accidents that happen there, are you sure you don't want to reconsider?
Wait, just thought of an obvious.
If I get a simple job as a wheel tapper, I think I could avoid most of the mayhem.
Ooh, I just thought of another place. I just thought of another place I'd want to live. Riboflavin, where Magiswords takes place.
There you go. Yeah, I want to be a hobbit, so Lord of the Rings. Okay. Not much to it. Magical Star asks, which Power Ranger universe? There are canonly at least 10 different ones, and the 6th first season and Dino Thunder are in one universe?
To give a kind of shady answer, whichever one where Animus is dead.
Okay then.
To give a real answer, probably the Prime universe.
Okay.
Ooh, or the Boom Studio universe. The world in the comics.
Comics are nice. So, since we actually gotten through all the questions, I would like to ask you guys, how did you guys get into the Brony fandom? Or start watching ponies? That's maybe also a better question.
Mine's not really as impressive. I was defiant of the ponies. In fact, there would be frequent days where I'd freak out with, "And the ponies! And the ponies!" And I'd get assaulted by a pillow. But then some friends just kind of wore me down, maybe watch an episode, and I kind of got hooked.
Yay! Friendship.
I think, yeah, I was with you in an old friend group when you were going through that sort of thing, and how I got into it. An old friend of ours made a 7-second video as a joke, calling My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic as the worst show on TV. and he got blasted for it.
Oof, dog.
Like everybody was going down his throat saying, like, how dare you? This show is actually good. Give it a chance. Why are you not giving it a chance? Man. And I was just sitting here looking at all this unfold, and I'm like, really? People are actually defending an iteration of My Little Pony. Okay, this I gotta research for myself. And because I'll admit I did watch a little bit growing up, but it was mostly because I think one time my parents put on an old VHS. They recorded a live airing of the 1986 movie with the Smooths, and that kept me quiet for a couple hours, and stuff like that, like.
No one can stop the Smooths.
I was aware of its existence, but I for one had no idea that there was a new iteration of it. So I'm like, what? This stuff for myself. Why are people actually defending an iteration of my MLP? And I did some research, found out Lauren Faust was a part of it because I loved growing up with Powerpuff Girls and the like. So like, oh, okay, it's got some cool people behind it. All right, I'll check it out. And so then I watched the first episode. And wait, actually, before I watched the first episode, there was this video. I'm blanking on the exact title, but I think it was like My Little Pony gives a realistic view into the universe, or it was something like that. It was footage from the show combined with a reel of the audio from like this video game called like Space Alpha. It was basically footage of a whole bunch of astronauts through a video game with these text-to-speech sayings. It just sounds like a whole bunch of robots talking, like yeah. Holla holla get dollar, ha ha ha. So that sort of thing. And I was looking at the footage from the show coupled with it, and like, wait, this is why does the animation look so good? And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And so I watched the pilot, and then noticing right away Tara Strong as the voice of Twilight Sparkle, and I felt like, oh, so she's a part of it. And then I watched the pilot, thought it was okay. Nothing really too grandiose or anything. But then one episode turned into 2, then to 3, and then I ended up watching the entire first season through the course of 2 days, and by the end of it, I was hooked.
Yay! Mission accomplished.
Yep, and the rest is history from
there. Prof, do you want to go next?
Okay. First time I ever heard about the show, that was I was playing Portal 2 and looking a little bit on YouTube, and there was a video. This is epesode, fan-made video about Portal 2. I liked it, and there also was an MLP version of it, and that's the first time I heard of the show, and I liked the visuals, and then I looked for the show itself. That was how I found the show, and the fandom itself, where I got a little bit more invested in it. I think the first time I ever heard a fanfiction of anything, that was Dr. Wolf reading's Discord Gardens. And after that I got to a few fanfiction, and well, yeah, the moment I'm staying with the Follow the Question one. So yeah, that's my way into the fandom.
Brass?
I first heard about the show from, do you remember Darth Ratbat?
I don't know who that is.
That was more of a question for Will and Jerry.
Oh, sorry.
The name does ring a bell, yes.
He was the guy who did the Rift Trains.
Yeah, yes, I remember him now.
Guess so.
Yeah, he was the first time I heard about the show. He was doing a Q&A, and he was listing shows he liked. The first show he listed was Phineas and Ferb, so I'm like, okay, I think I can trust this guy's sense of taste. And the last one he listed was My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And he says, yep, I'm a brony. So that was the first time I heard of the show and the term brony. I was like, okay, did someone manage to breathe some life into an obvious cash cow? But my curiosity wasn't quite peaked until another 2 years. Then in August 2013, I guess I'd seen enough people talking about the show and clips from the show in like YouTube poops and on demotivational posters and stuff, to a point where I'm like, I want to check this show out. And I binge watched the first 3 seasons during that month. That was around the time Smile HD came around.
Oh, oh yeah, that thing, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna like this fandom.
Smile?
Oh no, you haven't seen it, have you?
Oh, you've never. Okay, well, just letting you know, it's probably not something that'll be your cup of tea, but Smile HD is pretty much someone did their own custom animation using a remix of the Smile song, but it's really, really gory.
Ah,
It
okay.
goes-
Not safe for Chris. Got it.
Yeah, so
It is gory and bat crap insane.
Yeah, so just be mindful.
Yeah, basically,
It
I'm
is
not
not
gonna
for the faint
touch
of
it.
heart.
Got it.
Yeah, I wouldn't if I were you. So yeah.
Yeah, no.
If you do get curious, have something plush to squeeze nearby.
Yeah.
And film yourself.
Yeah, because of course I'm gonna put that on YouTube.
Or we could do the opposite of that.
Not put it on YouTube. Not do it. Not do it at all.
I wish I'd been filming myself the first time I watched that.
Yeah, no, thank you. I want to keep my sanity points. Thank you.
Yeah, so for people like you, I wouldn't recommend it. But for those who have strong stomachs and are pretty much immune, kind of like me, then go nuts, man. That's all I can really say.
So that was my first delve into the show and the fandom.
Yeah, that's a strong start. Oof. Yeah. Me myself, as people who has seen these podcasts before, know that I am a old G1 fan. And we're not very happy about Generation 2, and Generation 3 does not exist. So when Generation 4 came out, I was like, okay, what's happening here? So I gave it a look and didn't think much of it in the start. But when Season 2 came out, I gave it another shot and binge watched Season 1. Started watching Season 2, and that was when also I started seeing some of the YouTubers pop up, like Lightning Bliss. So that was how I got into it, but I didn't dare to do anything myself until 2018 Galacon. That was when I they have a fandom online, like a real one, not just YouTube talking, famous YouTube people. Wow. So yeah. That's how I got into it. Oh, question.
And now here we are today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed, and I had a lot of help, and I'm so grateful.
No.
Yeah. If any one of you ever played Pathfinder or D&D, what class would you be?
I tried. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I only
same.
have a D&D thing, and it's for Ellie's campaign, and I am a bard.
Hey, Bard.
But most of the time, I am just the surfer satyr dude.
Yeah, that's fair. Prof?
I haven't played Pathfinder till now, and D&D only one campaign that started 1.5 months ago, and I'm a wizard. I like it till now. So, but yeah, I can't say much about the other classes. Haven't quite played any.
I myself having a endless struggle between Bard and Druid. So, yeah, that's where I am.
There you go.
Yeah. Ska vi se.
Yeah, I think you said you noticed another question somewhere.
Yeah. I think I lost it. Where did it go? Where did it come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Brain. Wushi asked for everybody who has a 3D model, have you ever possibly considered updating the 3D models that you have of your OC?
Okay, I think they're talking about like Source Filmmaker or Gmod 3D models.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any other 3D models out there.
That depends if the maker of the model wants to upgrade.
Yeah, like full disclosure, for any 3D models that we have of ROCs, we ourselves did not make them or request them. They were made purely by just by fans, and like if they feel the need to update it, then go right ahead. But yeah, like we didn't request for them; they were just fan made for us, and we're just like, oh, cool. Do you mind if we use them? They're like, sure, go for it. And I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Awesome. I actually commissioned mine.
Sorry.
No, my bad. You first.
I was just making a joke like, they ambushed us with generosity.
Yes, betrayal. How rude. Oh dear. Yeah, I commissioned mine because a friend of mine, Wobby Dobby, he still does a lot of Source Filmmakers, so I got one and I upgraded it when I finally found my final form, as they say, because I had a hard time landing on a proper design because I have a weird main, so it took some time to get it proper. So I already updated mine, to be honest.
Although there's I will say this, there is one 3D OC design that I think could probably use a little bit of fine tuning, or at least help make a bigger model out of. Well, probably not bigger, better. I'd say maybe keyframes. I think the 3D model that she does have is just based off of I want to say either Cadence or Luna's, and I don't know. I don't think they were able to make the poofy hairstyle of hers. So maybe that could use a bit of updating, but again, that's up to the original person, and of course, if Keyframe wants that. So, but that's just me. I think that is one design that could probably do with a little bit of fine tuning. Any others that I've seen, they're fine by me.
Yeah.
One thing I'm kind of curious about, the fandom has seemed to use a lot of motion stop stuffies mostly for the time, unless they are doing Source Filmmaker. Maybe this is the wrong people to ask, but why do you think that happened?
It's just easier.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what video makers find easier to work with. Like, I didn't actually know until recently that Gmod is basically stop motion, and like that's one of my personal favorite. Well, actually, I guess now that I think about it, pretty much all animation is from stop motion, in a sense, just different mediums.
Just depends on what kind of camera outlet you're using.
Yeah, true. But yeah, like I have a great respect for people who use the 3D models, be it either through Source or Gmod. I personally like I think my respect for Gmod is a little bigger because I think that's a little more complicated to work with, and I know there are some people that still stick with that, mostly just because Source Filmmaker doesn't really do much for their computers. But again, it's just excuse me, just different strokes, different folks. But yeah, I actually, I'm sorry. What was the question again? I'm kind of rambling. I think I'm getting off topic.
I was just wondering if you had any idea of why this fandom has chose to use vector type of animation and not just gone full out, or instead of other types, of course, except for the
okay.
source filmmaker stuff.
Okay. I want to say, like, I think it's like Brass mentioned earlier. It's mostly just the ease of use for the program, because working with 3D models it's a different process than straight up using flashed assets. Because having dabbled in a tiny bit of animation, or at least know the bare bones of it, it's a different program to work with in terms of 2D Flash or actually drawing it, rather than having a ready model for you that all you have to do is just pose. And it's kind of like, I like to compare it to like saying drawing something in a flip book versus playing with Legos.
Legos! Sorry.
Like, the Legos, they're already made, but they're given the free rein to pose the arms, pose the legs, turn the head, that sort of thing. You're given the free range to do so. It's not like you're creating, well, like in terms of like the people, it's not like you're building them up from scratch. You're given the pieces to build them, and you may pose them however you wish. And I want to say, I think it's because of that ease of use and its simplicity that a lot of people turn to doing 3D stuff. I mean, I have a great respect for both people who do 3D and both people who do 2D or Flash or whatever the things. Like, I respect animation as a medium as a whole. But yeah, I think it's just the simplicity and the ease of the software that you use that it depends on the person.
Yeah.
And whoever's doing that and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. I also see we have about 3 minutes left. So yeah, I want to say thank you so much for all of you for coming today and staying a whole extra hour.
Yeah,
This
this
was
was fun.
nothing.
This was fun. Thanks very much for the invite.
Yeah, happy you had fun. Yeah. Yeah, is there anything you like? Do you guys have any project currently that you want to promote? Now it's the time to do it.
I have a Workaholics Anonymous comic strip in the works for the first day of June, because that's when everybody's birthday is. It feels like.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
I actually Oh, sorry. You go first.
No, actually, go ahead. I actually need to think about mine.
I actually uploaded a new comic today.
Ooh.
A deleted scene from Casper and Blissy's magic lesson.
Please post that link in the Discord chat so I can post it here in the Twitch chat if you want to.
About it. Other than that, it's just whatever comes around the bend. New comics in the works, new audio stuff. Maybe a new prank call. I don't know.
Ooh.
Who knows? Do you know? I don't know. Who knows? Do you know? I don't know anything.
We don't know until they call. Looking forward to it.
For me, it would be, like I said, I'm on the follow question at once, and what we're doing at the moment, while it's coming out, Homelands, Project Horizons was one of the bigger stories, and the same author is basically writing a second part for one of the minor characters in the story, and yeah, that's one of the bigger things that I'm editing for at the moment.
Yeah, so that's you can find on the Pony and Wolf production YouTube that has the link under your name in the About section, correct?
Yes.
So go and take a look there. They're awesome. Thespio?
But like I said, fair warning, it is Fallout related, so maybe not safe for people like Chris.
Yeah. So yeah.
For me, in terms of personal projects, no, at least not right now. I'm still working on audio for new TF2 episodes, so there's the answer to that. New episodes are coming out. They're still in production. I also have in that mix, I'm also working on the audio for a new magic lesson for Bliss.
Ooh.
And I also got approached recently by a friend of mine, Starry Flame. Me and her might be doing a cover relatively soon as well. But yeah, those are just the terms. Those are just in terms of immediate new projects I have. Everything else is still in the pipeline, just trying to find the proper balance of time and all that stuff, especially with trying to balance my career, as I've only just recently started actually submitting myself to auditions and casting calls and the like, so it's a lot to balance.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't exactly do any. The closest I'm getting to a project are these streams, so at least for my own. But yeah, working on the.
So you can't say that none of us are slacking.
No.
We're just busy with a whole lot of different things.
Yeah, it's a lot to juggle, and you guys really do deserve all the praise that you get, and even you should get more praise, because not just audio editing, but also your own life and other stuff that you do.
Can I also get a vacation, please?
Yeah, give all of you a vacation now. Yeet! Okay, before we end, I want to raid a channel, because let's see. Okay, Arga Demon is streaming, and Fiora is having her birthday stream. Well, it's her birthday. Shall we raid Fiora?
Chaos?
Chaos? Yes, chaos. Pizza. Weather Pony Chaos. Shall that be the hashtag?
I didn't know it was her birthday.
Technically it's tomorrow, as far as I know, but she's doing the birthday stream today, because I don't know.
How's about Happy Fiora Boom Boom Day?
Yeah.
The day she exploded from the womb.
Happy Fiora Boom Boom Day. Okay, everybody ready? I see 16 people is ready to go. Everybody ready to go? Do it.
I'm frightened. I don't like change.
Let's go, Mario.
Do it now.
Do it now. Raid.
No.
Raid time.